Okay, we are going to do a video series with small frame right-handed hitters. So I'm going to go over a course of different drills for over two girls, one in 12U, that's a smaller frame hitter, and then one girl that's going to be in 14U. So working on these drills, I wanted them to learn how to maximize the extension in their wrist. So we start off doing a drill you probably have never seen before because I kind of made it up. But here we're going to have some really bad swings, but we're going to teach these girls how to use their wrists. So throughout these drills here, I'm just slowing it down and we'll go back to it. She's going to swing down, but keep her body frame. She's going to swing middle, keep her body frame. She's going to swing up and keep her body frame. So when she goes through these swings, her body frame is going to stay at the same level as it would a normal swing away. The only difference is we're extending the wrist down. So that's how she gets that ground ball. But you see her don't change where her positioning of her body is. So you see her go down, you see her go middle, which is her clean hit, and then you see her try to lift the ball. She's trying to do all three of these. So a good drill that I like to do in the middle of sessions like this when we're working on the forearms is a weighted drill. I want to get their forearms burning so they can learn how to use muscles correctly. So you can just start off with some up downs with something heavy on their wrists. So I just go up, hold it, then I go down, hold it, and now they're starting to feel their forearms burn. So then when we go into the drill, it makes a difference. So this is that same drill, but we're going to go through it and see it live. So this first swing, you see she swings down. The second swing, she does it again. Sometimes I have them do it again if it's not clean enough. Her second swing is a normal swing, then she's going to swing up. But notice her body the entire time, it still stays clean. So she goes middle. I think she's going to go up, down. She goes down, and she's just going to keep going through it. So it's a down, middle, up sequence, just working on that forearms and getting the wrist burning. So now she's going to go through it and swing away, and the adjustment is going to be very clean. The ball just kind of launches off her barrel, and you can see the maximized extension in her forearm and her wrist. And she's really not even using her lower half to her full capability, but just that drill alone is making that ball kind of shoot off that barrel, which is a really great progress, especially for a 12U hitter. On this one here, I'm having her extend and her elbows and her forearms, so she's kind of stopping her swing. This is a type of extension drill, but it goes a little bit to a push through extension. So again, she's kind of playing around in the extension and her forearms and her elbows. She'll do a few. Sometimes the girls like to stop the swing and then kind of rotate through the follow through. But I think she's going to do a full swing here, and then you'll be able to see it be smooth and good. So after we do this, the girls will go through another drill, and as she gets ready to load, I'll explain it a little bit more here. First, it looks like she's going to start with just her normal swing away, and you're going to be able to see her actual swing and the progress that she's made in her swing. After we get through the forearm work, we start working on the lower half. This is a little bit tricky, and you're going to see me do something also you probably haven't seen before, but we're going to do a skip on the back foot. Just a drill, just a drill, just a drill. Don't do this in a game. So she's going to drag her back foot and kind of skip it to learn how to pivot her turn and her hip a little bit harder. And she's very confused, just like you might be confused asking why would I ever have somebody skip their back foot. But it's kind of like in baseball when the guy swings so hard they kind of fall at the very last second. That's what we're trying to mimic here. She's really trying to turn her backside so far that she kind of falls and catches herself. that's the key to teaching yourself new muscles, is really doing mistakes. So I'm trying to mimic that back foot turn, which turns with the hip, but she didn't quite do it. I need her to literally skip that back foot. So she's going to swing and try, right when she's about to finish the swing, she's going to skip it forward. And you saw on that one, she nailed it, but she lost her balance. And that's okay, because that's not what we're really focused on, is balance. We want her to see how much power she can have in her backside. She'll go through it, and as they kind of go on, you'll see her get a little bit better at the drill. And again, we're not going to sit there and do this drill for a really long time, because it is a drill. We don't want to create bad habits. We just want to teach them how to maximize all their muscles. And that's the key to having the small frame right-handed hitter, is learning how to maximize their power, because we don't want to switch them over to the left side. We want them to be effective right-hand hitters, but use their entire body in their swing. As she goes through this a little bit more, you'll see the adjustments that she makes, and then she'll do a normal swing away, and you'll see her go through everything, and it just start to look real clean, and you'll see the final result of her swing. Right now it's still a little rough, because she's still trying to do something she's never done before on her backside. But when you see the drill pay off, it's going to be pretty cool to be able to see her pop the ball as far as she's going to be able to. And right before I get into my next hitter, I'm going to pause the video and figure out how to add a live clip of her from the game, if I can figure it out. But if you look at that, she mishit the ball, but her hips are just turning so hard. Her lower half is engaged and activated. The drill did exactly what it needed to do, and it's okay if they mishit the ball. We are not here trying to hit buckets and buckets of balls correctly. We're here to learn how to do new things. She can go at home and practice hitting the ball perfectly off of a bucket. Right here, I need her to make mistakes. I need her to try something different. I need her to make adjustments in order for this to translate into a game. And then she can go home and work on what we worked on for today. But you see the awkwardness in the swing. But if you look at the lower half of her swing, you can really see how she's really driving and she doesn't have control. That's why you see her kind of lose her balance, because she's never used her back half of her lower leg that hard before. So you see her kind of get stuck. She kind of gets, that front foot kind of locks up. But you'll see as she keeps going, the power of it just really takes off. And I'm going to let some go so you can see her hit cleaner. It's a great swing right there. Also, another thing that happens, you'll start seeing her confidence in her swing increase. She really starts to like how that drill feels. So on to the last portion of this particular series with this hitter. She'll go through one more thing to be able to end the lesson. And it's going to be something kind of cool that you also haven't seen before, because a lot of these times I make up these drills for it to make sense for each hitter. You can't go through these lessons having every girl swing exactly the same. There has to be some type of on-the-spot training where you're able to adjust to the hitter and teach them something new. So this is just her normal swing away. We won't go into this too long. I thought we had another drill, but we have more drills coming up with the next hitter. So just go ahead and watch, again, her hitting the ball clean and her making the adjustments. Right here is something I like to teach them to do with their wrists. So she's kind of going through the swing and playing with her wrists. If you see her kind of shake her wrist a little bit, we're trying to snap the wrist and follow through the thumb. And that's what she was doing on that little bit of a pause of a swing. But overall, she's a really great hitter, great for her age group. I've only had her for about a month, so you'll have to stay tuned to see how she does. And even a month from now, she's going to be way beyond the good swing that she has now. So now that we're coming to an end on that next swing, you're going to see a really cool drill with the next hitter. Again, this is our 14U girl. She is going to start her back leg turned. Right now, we're also working on the forearms, but we're training that back knee to be able to create some really cool movements. So she's swinging, snapping through her extension. And then her second version of the drill is in that same motion. Now she's following through. So she's creating her own hip drive with no motion from a load, no motion from a step. And then she's kind of going through. Now, I would like to be able to pause this. I don't know how. This is my first video, so y'all be patient with me. I would like to be able to... okay, I think I figured out how to add more to the video. So you're going to see her go into that knee drive, hold that position, and snap. Hold that position and snap. Trying to teach them how to drive your knee as your back hip is turning. So this drill is fantastic for teaching what knee drive is. So then we go on to the next series. And this one, you're going to need some pretty cool equipment to pull this one off. This is our same hitter, a different day that we progressed working on her hip. And what I did was attach a bungee cord to her hip, got a hip waist on it, and I'm going to pull the backside of her hip. So whenever she swings, she has to generate more power. And yes, she's going to fall, but she's going to learn that she's stronger than she thinks she is. So all these drills are just reinforcing how to get power sometimes out of nowhere. So I'm just pulling her, and she's going to fall over a little bit. Don't get too caught up in the little details of mistakes. I'm trying to teach her how to use it. I don't care where this ball goes. I'm trying to teach her how to use her hip properly. And this is our first time doing this. Sometimes, again, I just go with my head, and I have some crazy ideas for my drills. So it took us a while to get adjusted to the hip, whatever it's called, thing I have attached to her. And one thing that I want to point out, I made sure it was below her tailbone, right at the beginning of her hip to her waist. So it's pretty low. So she would be able to have the back part on the very bottom of where her hip bone starts. So then I'm really pulling against that, and then you see her get that clean hit as I add more weight. And I keep reminding her to adjust the strap on her waist to be below, because I want to pull at a certain part of her hip. I don't want to have this on her waist where she's just rotating her torso. I want her to feel her left glute be able to push into that swing, and that's kind of what we're doing. And then she holds it pretty clean. So I go ahead and take it off, and then I have her swing away. So each drill that we do, after we do the resistance, I'm going to have her swing, and then she's going to see how much power she has. She's still kind of playing it safe. She's a little bit of a perfectionist and doesn't like to make mistakes. So it's really getting these girls to dial into the system, and but dial into the drill and really step outside their comfort zone and try something different. So she kind of did it, and then we had to move on to the next one because she still was playing it safe. So now I had a foot one. This is actually used for pitchers, but I put it on her foot, and I said, let's teach your back foot how to turn some more. So I have that same bungee cord attached to her ankle, and this one has a strap for the foot. You can see that black piece go down to the bottom of her foot. So it's making that whole piece of that squish the bug turn into reality. A lot of people are trying to stop teaching squish the bug. You have to teach these girls how to squish the bug. The key to squishing the bug is just making sure you do it correctly. And that's at the top of the toe. We squish the bug with the top of the toe, not the back. So adding that resistance, then she's going to go ahead and go through and fill the drill, thinking about her hip driving, thinking about her back foot twisting hard. And that one you see her get a little wobbly because she didn't realize that it was going to be that big of a difference with the weight off, resistance off. And she kind of goes through. I'll give her a couple more swings, and then we will do one final one, and it's pretty cool. So now that we got through that, she might have one more swing, but I'm going to move on to the next point. You really have to tell these girls to step outside their comfort zone and teach them that it's okay to make mistakes. The beautiful thing about making a mistake is you get another try to learn from your mistakes and make the adjustments. Life is full of failure. The sooner you can teach these girls that it's okay to fail, it'll help them in all facets of their life. So now we're going to get a little creative. We're going to go back on the hip. We're going to go back on the ankle, and we're going to do them both at the same time. I'm going to create resistance on both of them. So it's going to be a little bit tricky for me. But she will be able to put the balls on herself and really get involved in the drill. So as you see, she gets ready. I have about a medium resistance on both, but we're working both sides, and I love this drill. I wish it would be, I wouldn't have to hold it and I can attach it to something so we can pull harder. But you make sure you want to make sure they don't get injured too, pulling so hard. But yeah, it's the coolest thing ever. I was so happy how it came out, and sometimes my vision for these drills don't come alive, but this one really came alive and really came through. I think the key to this drill, especially on that resistance on the foot, is y'all see that back band that's around the whole foot. So I'm not just pulling her ankle, I'm pulling her whole entire foot. And then she takes off the strap, she gets ready to go through, and you're going to see a pretty clean swing after this. Yeah, she's swinging hard. She's got a little bit of a not so smooth at the top half because she's worried about the lower half. But just make adjustments. Let them figure out for themselves what they're doing wrong. Don't be so eager to fix. Ask a lot of questions. Ask, what do you feel? If they don't feel what they're doing wrong, they're not going to know how to fix it. And that was the perfect swing right there. She swung her hips hard. Her knee drove. Her hands were on plane. She got the ball through the zone. Her extension was great. All the drills kind of came alive. And she finally swung the barrel pretty hard. Still think she can really step out her comfort zone like 10% more. But I was pretty happy with how it came out, and she's seeing the results on the field. For this last drill, I like to do it with a weighted one-handed bat. You can't really see too good, but if you zoom in on her wrist, I have like an ankle weight attached to her wrist. So I didn't think her hands were being smooth enough through the drill, so I attached the ankle weight. It's got about 3 pounds on it, and she's just snapping to extension, keeping her lower half clean, working her forearms and her wrists. She's just going through it, and you'll see her flick her wrists as you saw my 12U hitter make adjustments in the wrist, because you have to use your whole entire body in the swing. You don't get away with the weight that the bigger power hitters have. So we have to learn how to maximize every little part of the swing. And she's just going to keep snapping through extension. Her legs are going to stay strong. And then after a while, when we're finished with the drill and you feel like she's got a lot of them. And one thing I want to point out, we don't do these drills forever. We're trying to make quick adjustments. Sometimes we'll go back to it, but we're not going to spend a 30-minute lesson doing one drill. We have to be able to keep the girls engaged. So then I went ahead and put it on the back wrist. Back arm is always the toughest, and a good tool for the back arm will help girls who are having problems. They hit the ball really far, but they're getting under it. They probably need some backhand work, and this back wrist thing is going to line out that swing perfectly. They get that deep fly ball, nothing hard, nothing too hard to fix. You just got to get on top of it a little more. The power is there. And now she's just driving with the back wrist. And I love this series because these drills are so creative, so intuitive and fun for them to do. They really enjoy coming back and trying new things. And we kind of experiment together. And I just want to thank y'all for watching this with me. I love creating these drills. You'll be able to see her do a full swing as I'm finishing up. Her back wrist will look stronger, and she's just a great hitter. She's going to have a lot of success going into high school ball. She's a freshman, so she's going to do pretty great as her first year into high school ball for the spring. We'll be able to do more fun drills to get her ready to step on the field at the end of January, but she's grown real strong. Don't harp on the little things. Teach these girls that failure is necessary. We have to fail in order to succeed. As adults, we know that, but we have to teach them that too. Thanks.